Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ruth and today I want to talk about an issue that I feel like a lot of people don't really know about. I mean, I didn't even know it was a thing. That topic is scoliosis, and I have always been really fascinated by this. I was always like, when I found out that I had it, I was always like looking up on YouTube, like what is it, how can you improve it, things like that. And obviously scares the heck out of me, but I was really curious about it and wanted to see if I could like improve it naturally. So basically, what is scoliosis? So scoliosis is basically, definition wise, is a curvature of the spine. Now there's different curves, so it's kind of tends to go more like the shape of an S or a C. So at the top of your spine can be curved, or it can be curved at the bottom, or it can be curved in the middle, or it can be curved all over basically. And there's more severe versions of it, less severe versions of it. But yeah, basically scoliosis is scoliosis. And in this video I just want to talk about my story, basically how I found out, my diagnosis, and just how I deal with it and how I found out basically. So let's get into it. So this all started basically about around 2014, but also before I get into the real story, a disclaimer, I wasn't born it necessarily, like it wasn't caught at birth, I didn't have any defects or anything at birth, but anyway, moving on. So yeah, in about early 2014, I was about 17, nearly 18, 17 at the time, and I was trying on clothes in my room, and you know how sometimes they're like, Mum, come look at my clothes. Cool, I'm weird. Anyway, so my mum came in and I was looking in the mirror and she was behind me, and I'd never noticed it before, like no one else ever had. Yeah, so I was looking in the mirror, I can't remember what I was wearing, but my mum was behind me and she was like, your back looks a little bit weird, like are you standing funny? Like it doesn't look very aligned. And I was like, what are you talking about, Mum? Like of course I'm standing normally. And she was like, it looks just kind of crooked. And I was like, oh, that's weird, but I didn't end up thinking anything of it. And then my cousin, who lived in Christchurch at the time, ended up coming up for a holiday for a few weeks. We were down at my grandma's place, like just down the road, and we were like, you know how you have like massage trains? We were doing that. Yeah, kind of a weird family. We were doing massage trains and she was giving me a massage, and I don't know how she did, because she's not a physio or anything, but she was like feeling my shoulders and my back, and she was like, your back feels real weird, like your ribs feel really out of line. And I was like, oh, okay. Like my shoulders like uneven, like, because sometimes the symptoms can be like one side of the back is like stronger, like tighter. You can have like a slanted shoulder, things like that. And I'd never noticed that before. So anyway, she was like, yeah, this is weird. Like, I don't know what it is, but, and then she was telling me about, she had a friend who I think a while before that she had scoliosis anyway, but she ended up getting surgery for it. Oh, okay, like if I get surgery that's really severe, like if I have scoliosis. If I have scoliosis, would I need the surgery? And like surgery on your spine is like so severe, like you could be paralyzed, and all these thoughts were going through my head like, I'm freaking out. Anyway, she was like, well, don't freak out, but maybe just, you know, go get it checked. So I was like, okay, might as well. A month later, I got in with my doctor and I was like, kind of told him what happened. I was like, I think I have scoliosis. Do you mind just like looking at my back and seeing? And he was like, okay. So he looked at my back and I was like standing there for a while like, does it not look weird to you? And he was like, okay, like he didn't seem very sure, and I was like, okay, you should know. And I was like, well, can I get like an x-ray or something? Can you refer me to an x-ray so I can like see, find out what's going on, if I've got it, and blah blah blah. She was like, oh, okay, right. Just real kind of blasé, and I was like, are you kidding me? So a month later, I ended up getting the x-ray in May. So fast forward to May, I went up to the hospital, got my x-ray, but I ended up buying my x-ray on a disc. So I took the disc home, and I wasn't really expecting to see a lot really. Like obviously, like I had no idea what scoliosis exactly was, like what it really would look like and so on. So I got the x-ray, brought it home and looked at it on my computer, and I was, oh my goodness, I was freaked out. I like screamed. It was scary. Like I saw the x-ray, like staring at it for like 20 seconds in shock. What the x-ray showed was, well, for some reason it wasn't like a full x-ray from like the pelvis to the neck, but it was definitely there. So it showed my pelvis, which was like a little bit. And another symptom is like your hip, your pelvis should be straight, right? Like they should be aligned, whereas mine were like a little bit slanted, I guess. I was like, okay, this is serious. So on the x-ray it showed my spine. Now a spine, everyone knows a spine is supposed to be like this, like vertical, bottom to top, top to bottom, and mine was like basically looking like a snake. That's so bad. And then it had like my ribs on the side, like the rib cages, what do you call it, rib bones, I guess, like being like pulled in different directions. And I was so scared, to be honest. I was like, how am I not in so much pain? Obviously didn't notice, it didn't bother me beforehand. Like I didn't even notice it. My mum and my cousin noticed it, but I was like, okay, whoa. So this is severe. I was kind of worried about it, scared about what I found out and what I saw for the next like week, and I was a bit paranoid, like what if I like jump on something or fall over and my spine breaks? Just really, really ridiculous things like that. So basically from then on I did like a lot of research on the internet, and I just wanted to find out basically how you can prevent it from getting worse, I guess, and maintaining it. I did find out kind of pretty early on that having a strong back, a strong body in general is going to help, because the muscle on the sides of your spine will be able to like protect it. So basically from then on, like I've always been like a fairly like consistent exerciser, I guess. Like I'd always do Pilates and yoga, and I was doing that even before I found out I had scoliosis. So it was really good because I was already like in the mindset, as it were, to like be healthy and get stronger to obviously protect my back. And because I now was never officially diagnosed with scoliosis, like that my doctor never said, okay, you definitely have scoliosis, but obviously I did because I got the x-ray and I knew what scoliosis looked like. So I was like, okay, I've got it, cool. So basically, yeah, I researched, looked up YouTube videos on it, and there was this one girl that I did find, I think, what's her name again? Eliza Rose. I subscribed to her and was watching a few of her other videos, but I came across her video on scoliosis, and she has scoliosis. And I haven't actually watched it for a while, but I think it was kind of bad. I think she ended up saying like over the months it got worse and worse and worse. And mine, even like 4 or 5 years on, it hasn't gotten any worse. It's actually gotten a little bit better, but I'll go into that later. Yeah, so I was watching her video, and she was like, her journey was horrible, like way worse than mine. But anyway, she ended up getting surgery, and I think everything's pretty good now. But I was like, okay, like if this is serious, should I actually consider getting surgery? So anyway, I ended up getting into a few chiropractors and physios and things like that. I went kind of like every week, every fortnight kind of thing, just to get like pelvis realigned and like everything just as straight as it could be, basically. So I did that, and things just kind of like, I ended up going there for ages and like didn't really feel like there were any improvements or anything. So I was like, okay, well there's no point. I could do all these exercises by myself at home. I'll just figure it out by myself. So I stopped going there after a while and just really got into doing lots of yoga, lots of stretching, like strengthening exercises, walking, just to like release tension and just like feel looser, as it were. But also my cousin told me to go to the doctor. She found out like my back looked a bit weird, blah blah blah. So she messaged me back, like I was like, I have scoliosis, you were right. She was like, oh my goodness. So she recommended, there was this girl she found on Instagram who goes under the name Ellie Fit, and she now has like ebooks with like Pilates and yoga and strengthening programs like that. And I was like, oh okay. I looked her up, she was real cool. We had lots of like exercise things to do for scoliosis. So I ended up buying all her programs, and they're actually really good. I haven't used them for a while, but they're just like Pilates, strengthening exercises, just to keep the body moving. And I saw her x-ray, but her x-ray, I have to say, is not as severe as mine. Hers was just like a little bit curved at the bottom of her spine. Yes, that still is scoliosis, but not as severe as mine was. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I stopped going to the chiropractors and physios, and ended up just doing things for myself at home. So I got more into Pilates, yoga. I do that every day. I didn't really want to run because I get told that like a lot of hard stress, like if you're running, obviously your pelvis and your spine is going to get that load. I was, okay, obviously if your spine is crooked, it's going to be weaker. So I didn't want to put like a lot of load on my spine. I started out just doing Pilates, yoga, stretching, things like that. Go for walks and to basically keep up my fitness and see if I could improve my spine. So I did that quite consistently, anywhere from half an hour to an hour every day, 5 to 6 days a week. Fast forward a few years, so over when I first got diagnosed to a few years later, so when I was about 20, I got one more x-ray and it hadn't gone any worse. So I was like, okay, thank God. But I just continued doing that and then looking up exercises for scoliosis again, and I came across a study that a guy did on like the plank exercise, and everyone knows what a plank exercise is, right? And he was saying that he got a group of people together and he got them to do like the plank, do a plank on the side where your spine is curved. So for example, my curve is towards the left, so I do it on my right side. So I've been doing that, and I've actually, like, even my mum notices, like, it's definitely gone better. Not hugely, but because my back was real bad, it was like indented, yeah, because of the scoliosis pushing like my ribs out and things like that. But yeah, so it's definitely better. I never had a problem with my back. Like, I'd go running, I'd climb trees, I'd do a lot of things, and I never had problems, like I was never in pain. But then after a while I did notice, like the older I got and the less active I was, it would begin to hurt more. It would like ache and I'd like start clicking and things like that. So I was like, okay, I need to keep up my exercises and be consistent with this, otherwise as I get older and older it'll just get worse and I could even be more prone to arthritis or whatever. Basically I got one more x-ray after that, so since I was diagnosed to now, like 5 years later, I've had 2 x-rays. Everything, it hasn't gotten worse, which is good. So it hasn't gone worse, it's got a little bit better simply by me. So I've been doing the plank. The research that the guy did basically got a group of people together to do the plank on the side that their spine was curved. He did that for, I think it was a year. So he got the group together and he got them to do the plank for as long as they could each day, and each week I'd get them to increase it by about 10-20 seconds, so up to 90 seconds. So I've been doing it for 90 seconds and it's definitely like you can even feel it stretching out, like you can feel your like tight muscles and everything stretching out. So I've still been doing that. I do that every day and I seriously think, low battery, I definitely think it's helped. Like I've definitely maintaining it really well. So yeah, basically what I'm still doing is I'm just keeping up with my yoga, my exercises, and one serious tip, like obviously your body's your body. If you want to do different things or not do anything, that's totally up to you. Like this is just what has worked for me personally and it's what I find works and I feel good with that. But yeah, so that's my story. I still have it, obviously I'm going to have it for life, and as I definitely get older it will probably affect my body more, but I don't want to think about that now. I'm just being consistent in trying to keep it stable and just be as healthy as I possibly can. So that is my story on how I found out I had scoliosis and what I did about it. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I hopefully will do a part 2 on this eventually, so stay updated for that. Also, if you would like to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to see more videos from me. And yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.